Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Community Corner. Man, I love it when the studio is full of people, and it's full of people today. We've got actors, we've got directors, we've got executive directors. We even have some handlers in here today, so it's a packed house. And we're going to be talking about the Portsmouth Area Arts Council's production of Beauty and the Beast, which is just right around the corner. So we're going to start with some of the people that are involved with the production. You're up first, my man. What's your name?
My name is Jameson Rayce.
All right, and you're an actor in the production, right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a minute. We've got a really good person in here. I enjoyed interviewing her last time she was in with the Portsmouth Area Arts Council. Go ahead and tell our listeners who you are.
I'm Nicole Hughes.
All right, and again, you're an actress in the show.
Yes.
And, man, she does so much for Portsmouth Area Art Council. You are?
I'm Thompson, and I'm the director and choreographer for
All right.
PAAC.
Thanks for coming back, Allie. I like it when you're back here. And my good friend Bailey Hartlage. I love it when Bailey comes in.
I love being here.
Well, I know, and I'm really appreciative, man. You always bring it to every show that we get to do together. But, you know, you do such a good job with the Portsmouth Area Arts Council. Just getting young people interested in theater and performing arts, and that's something they can do the rest of their lives.
Right, exactly. I love what I do. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. So
Well, it shows. And you know what? You play basketball or football and things, those things kind of stop at a certain point. Take my word for it. But what you guys prepare people to do is something they can do forever.
Right, exactly.
So I'll tell you what, Bailey, if you would, get our listeners primed a little bit here about the production coming up, dates, times.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast is coming up this weekend, October 20th through 22nd at the Vern Rife Center for the Arts. Friday and Saturday shows are at 7 p.m. Sunday's matinee is at 2:30. You can get your tickets online at vrcfa.com, or you can call the McKinley box office at 740-351-3600. But if I were you, I would get those tickets sooner rather than later because they're selling fast.
I would agree. Allie, did she tell it true?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
We also have two
Good.
student performances happening for local schools. And those two performances are almost sold out.
Pretty much sold out, yeah. So we're really excited that the community is just as excited to see this show as we are to put it on.
Our region loves the Portsmouth Area Arts Council. You guys do such a good job, and you can't beat the venue that it's held in.
Right.
I know we talk about that every time, but we just never take it for granted. I mean, it's such a great theater.
Definitely, yeah. We're very lucky that we are able to rehearse the entire rehearsal period there at the Vern Rife and on Shawnee's campus and have all of those amenities and resources available to us.
Yeah, they really take care of us down there at the Vern. So
Oh, that's wonderful. Now we're going to go to Jameson. Jameson Rayce, how you doing, my man?
Great.
Well, man, I like him already. You're born for the stage, it looks like. It sounds like. You have a role in the production. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about what part you're playing?
Well, I'm playing as Chip, Mrs. Potts' son.
Okay. You like it so far?
Yes, a lot.
Okay, is this your first production?
It's actually my second. Did one in California.
Okay. All right. So evidently you like theater.
Yes, a lot.
Well, talking to you off air a little bit, I think you're born for it. I think you're doing well with it. How do you like things so far?
Well, I like how I can, be in a cart and, to me, it's just really fun, and I like to talk and, to do different emotions and stuff like that.
Again, sounds like you're born for it. Now, it's a lot of work being in a production, isn't it?
Yes, a lot.
So how do you mesh that with your school work and everything else?
Well, Allie lets us bring our homework and stuff and catch up on anything at school. I always try to fit in, soccer practice and any type of sport, really. But she just lets us bring our homework, and you can pretty much get that done from a 3-hour, play practice.
Pretty smart out of Allie, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I always tell the students that theater is incredibly important to students as a whole. the students learn so much. They learn reading, they learn music, they learn community, There's so much that they learn. But I always make sure that I'm like, please continue to do the other things that you also love to do. And also, let's keep up on top of our schoolwork, because that is the most important thing where they are right now. So I always encourage, like, hey, bring your homework. It's okay if you got to sit out for a dance number. We'll throw you in next rehearsal. Finish that paper. Finish that math homework, because it's so important that the students are well-rounded in all facets.
I completely agree. It's a great approach. Now, Jameson, what prompted you to, audition for this production?
Well, I have another acting journey from Cincinnati, but I just wanted to do it for the extra practice and stuff and getting to know more people and stuff like that.
You probably have met a lot of people. Typically, I know the Portsmouth Area Arts Council has good-sized casts and everything, so you probably made a lot of new friends, haven't you?
Yes, a lot.
Okay, well, good. Well, good. Is your role Chip? Has it been kind of difficult to learn? I know it's kind of an important part in the production.
It is, well, kinda. It's not really a hard one for me, particularly, but it's just a really good role for, kids like me.
Okay, were you familiar with Beauty and the Beast, the story and everything, before you went to audition?
Yes.
Okay. Got anything else you want to add to that?
How about you, Nicole? Do you want to add anything?
Well, I'm going to Nicole here in just a second, man. I'm trying to get you for everything you're worth. You're pretty good. So I'm enjoying it. Nicole, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Well, great. Like I said earlier, I enjoyed interviewing you when you were in here last time. I know you're familiar with Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What drew you to the role of Miss Potts?
I'm normally cast as, funnier roles, and Mrs. Potts is more of a serious role. And with this being one of my last PAAC shows, Allie luckily and graciously let me be a role where I could learn to grow a little bit and become a better actress and to learn new portions and new experiences and new techniques. Because these roles, I don't get to play serious roles a lot. So this was just a very gracious opportunity for me to be able to play Mrs. Potts.
Well said. Well said. Is theater something you want to continue?
Oh, most definitely. I love theater, and I'm very passionate about it. And I hope that I can continue to love it and share my love of it with other people.
There's a lot of opportunity in our region do that with. Do you have a favorite genre of production or type of production that you like?
I like them all. I mean, you really can't pick one favorite. I love anything, that's comedic and anything like that, because I just love being able to share my joy with theater and my joy just in general with other people.
And that attitude carries over to the audience, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, good. How's it feel? I think I asked you the last time you were here. If not, it was somebody you were with. But how does that make you feel to get a reaction from the audience when you know that you've nailed something, whether it's either comedic or whether it's dramatic, and you can either hear a gasp or you hear the laughter or you get, like a little round of applause and things. How does that make you feel as an actor?
It makes you feel like all this work that you've put in for 3 months, 2 months, however long you've been doing it, it just makes everything that you've been working towards, all the hardships and the tears and the sleepless nights and the tiredness, and it just makes it all worth it. Again,
spoken like a true actor. That's there's been an animated version and a live action version of Beauty and the Beast that's come out and everything, and I'm sure you're familiar with those.
Yes.
How is a stage production different from those in this instance?
It's just different because there's more emotion, and just things are conveyed better through music and song. And there are some new songs in this that aren't in, the animated or the live action, that shed new light on the plot and the story, which just adds to the musical being different and unique than the other two movies.
That's a great point. I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware that there were different songs and things that are in this. And there is something that's kind of electric about a live performance, isn't there?
Yes. There's just so much. A live performance is just so different because you can just feel the energy in the room of all the actors who just love what they're doing and are passionate about what they're putting forth for the audience to see.
I think there's something about that energy of, one, flying by the seat of your pants, but two, you can change and alter some things every single night.
Yes.
If you have to.
Every night's different sometimes.
Well,
Most of us don't do the same thing from night to night.
This is true. Now, Allie, I can see why you cast both of them already
Yeah.
in the roles that they're in. They're both excellent. So what drew you to this production? What made you want to get involved? And I know you're involved with just about everything that goes through the Portsmouth Area Arts Council, but what really kind of drew you to help get this up and running?
For this production in particular, I always go for growth opportunity. No matter what I choose, I always make sure that it's going to be the show that the students need at this point in their growth. So for this show, it has a lot of really good roles and a lot of hefty roles. No one person carries this entire show. Belle's, of course, in a bunch of it, but so is the Beast, so is Gaston, so is LeFou, so is Mrs. Potts, Cogsworth, Lumiere. They all have such a large responsibility with this show, and I think it is so important to continue the students on a path of growth from show to show. So I always make sure that, okay, so they played this role this past show, what can I do to give them a growth opportunity in the next production? Like Nicole was saying, Nicole's like, always play comedic. And then Allie was like, here you go. Here's this motherly dramatic role. And I love to see them take on those challenges. And that's why I pick the shows that I pick.
This is a centuries-old story. Mm-hmm. And I think it's interesting. Nicole just kind of made me think about it on a comment that she made, that you compare the story of Beauty and the Beast as it's out there now, as I'm sure you're going to, prepping actors to perform it. Mm-hmm. It's much more fleshed out, and it's a little different than what the original story was. And I think to the better. And I think it's really interesting how that type of story has grown and like I say, changed. Yeah. And not necessarily with the times. It's just kind of deepened, what the story's about, actually.
Yeah.
And is that something that you picked up on in getting this production ready?
Yeah, absolutely. So I also teach acting classes and all that kind of stuff with Shawnee, and I love teaching intro to theater classes because I get to talk to people who've never taken a theater class or never seen a production. And something that I always tell my students is that theater is a looking glass into the human condition. And I think that a show like Beauty and the Beast, when you take it from a cartoon, you have to make it more lifelike. You have to make it more relatable to the people who are going to be sitting in an audience and watching it. So they added those songs, and those really help you understand the feelings that those characters are feeling. And I think it's really beautiful when you get to sit in a room with them performing these pieces, performing this show, and really feel like they can connect to it.
That's a good point. Now, you, like I said, have done a lot of things with Portsmouth Area Arts Council, obviously in theater in our area. What's more difficult to do, a musical or a straight drama?
I'd say a musical.
Or comedy, even.
I'd say, oh gosh, they all come with their own challenges, right? So a musical, I've got to choreograph, hours of music. Straight plays, you have a lot more blocking to consider. It just depends on your team, depends on the show, depends on how big your set is. All of it comes into consideration. But I think they all come with their own challenges. Absolutely.
I always thought comedy would be most difficult just because it's just so reliant on the timing, every single line. Yeah. I know all theater is reliant on timing, but man, just to get comedy right, you have to it has to have that rhythm. You
have to have the pacing, for sure. So a comedic piece, timing is definitely going to be faster, like something more farcical, like the lines will come off like popcorn is what we say. And something that's more tragic, it takes its time, it does its building, with less popcorn, more you get the feeling and the emotion in the silence. So absolutely, you do have those different give and takes, gives back and forth between tragedy, comedy, musicals. So absolutely, pacing is one of the most important things in theater, and that's the thing that keeps the audience engaged. That's what keeps them intrigued in the production.
You know, when we've talked before, I've always been surprised at the size of the cast that you have. What do you got coming around this production?
We have almost 70 kids involved, whether they're on stage or backstage. And it's been a real treat. We have, I think, over 15 school districts represented across 5 different counties in Ohio and Kentucky. So
that's phenomenal.
I know. I'm very grateful that all kids from all over come to us to get a children's theater experience.
I see why you have wranglers and handlers with you today. My gosh, 70 at one time.
We have great volunteers. We couldn't do what we do without them. But yeah, it's definitely a team effort and all of that. But we're making it work, and they're having so much fun. I'm having so much fun, and it's just been great.
Yeah, it's definitely a wow moment when those moments in the show where we have all 65 on stage. It's like they don't stop coming, you know?
Yeah.
They're all like, oh, there's more coming on stage and more, you know? And it's just a packed house. And it's so fun when they do get all on stage and they're all doing the same dance moves, and, you know, it's clean and crisp, and you know that it takes so much time and effort on the students' behalf to focus in and learn those things and be, you know, unified, which is just awesome.
You know, Bailey, I may have asked you 2 or 3 years ago. You've been in so much, it's kind of hard to keep track. But what drew you into theater? I mean, you're doing such a great job with Portsmouth Area Arts Council, and like I said, you're helping people develop something they can do for the rest of their lives, and that's a great achievement. What got you into it?
I mean, I was involved in the arts from a super young age before I even started kindergarten. Like, my mom was taking me to the library for story times and, you know, going to the art museum and doing all that. So I just got involved. I wasn't really much of a sports kid. I didn't play sports, so I needed to be involved in something. So I chose theater, and I did theater all throughout high school and junior high and all of that. But then once I graduated and got to college, I was like, I like doing this for fun, but I don't necessarily want to be an actor professionally. But luckily, I got my degree in management and marketing from Shawnee, and I am now able to work on the executive business side of theater. So even if, you know, you have a passion for theater and you love it, you don't necessarily have to be on stage. There's opportunities backstage. There's opportunities, you know, in marketing and in the production side. So there's so many things that go into making theater happen.
How hard do you work with it? Because every time there's an event at the Vern Rife, and I always run into you.
Yeah, I'm always at the Vern Rife Center, so it's great. Like, yeah, there's front of house people, there's box office ticketing sales, there's ushers, there's so many different parts that go into making a show happen that you don't always think about, but they're all super necessary.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everybody. I'm going to ask Allie and Nicole and Jameson the same question. And Jameson, I'm going to give you a break because you'll be the last person that I ask. That way you can hear the other answers, and you got time to formulate your answer. So Allie, you're on the dock for this. What's your favorite moment in the production of Beauty and the Beast?
Oh gosh, my favorite moment in the production is... Oh, wow, that's a hard one.
Yes.
There's so many beautiful moments, so many beautiful pictures. My favorite moment in the entire production is probably, I'd have to say, the big song. Everybody looks forward to Beauty and the Beast, like the song, you know? I think it's a pivotal moment that everybody looks forward to, and the students just execute it beautifully, and I couldn't ask for a better cast, all in all.
Good answer. Nicole, what's your favorite moment in Beauty and the Beast?
Probably Be Our Guest, because it's an iconic song that everybody knows. And, you know, that song, it's a hard song, and we have worked towards that song. You know, we have climbed that mountain, and we're at the top. And we're just ready to let people see the excitement and the energy, because it's just full of energy and joy. It's just so fun to put on.
Well, that's a big moment.
Yes.
You know, in all the productions I've seen, and everything, and it involves a ton of people, so I could see where there'd be a lot of energy that would come out of that. Good answer. Good answer. Jameson, what's your favorite part of Beauty and the Beast?
Well, probably when Cogsworth and Lumiere's say, dumb as a brick, the whole wall.
I like that as well. Good. Everybody's really enjoyed their time with this so far, haven't they?
They have. We have too much fun, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they cannot have too much fun. Now, Bailey, is this the last production for calendar year 2023?
Yes, it's the last production we'll put on stage in 2023, but coming up in the new year, we're actually the week after Beauty and the Beast. We're having auditions for our senior company show, Legally Blonde.
Who didn't know that was going to happen? Yes.
So if you're a high school student and you're interested in being in a show, come audition for Legally Blonde. Or if you're a middle school or elementary student wanting to be involved, come audition for SpongeBob. Those auditions will be in January. So,
Man, you guys knock it out of the park with your selections, don't you?
we try.
What you do, you get something that appeals to everybody. Mm-hmm. So, guys, I am hoping you all break a leg in the best sense, and I hope your production goes outstandingly well coming up. Bailey, again, please give us those dates and times.
Yeah. PAAC's production of Beauty and the Beast is coming up this weekend, October 20th through 22nd at the Rayce Center for the Arts. Friday and Saturday shows are at 7, and Sunday's show is at 2:30. Get your tickets online at vrcfa.com, or you can call the McKinley box office at 740-351-3600.
And don't roll the dice and try and get them at the door.
Right, yeah. If you get them at the door, you might be all the way in the back and struggling to see.
If you even get them.
Right, exactly. So
right.
get your tickets ahead of time.
Jameson, it's great meeting you, my man. Good luck.
Nice meeting you, too.
Thank you, sir. Nicole, great to see you again.
Great to see
Good.
you too.
Allie, thanks for everything that you do for all the young people around here and getting them into theater. And Bailey, as always, great to see you, and thanks for scheduling.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh, man, my pleasure. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.